Hi there. I just want to try and do a video. I want to try and do a video on. I want to talk about energy and life force energy and spiritual awakening and the process that leads to all this stuff. Kundalini, peaking energies, and what you're tapping into in this process in spiritual awakening. First, you've got to have the spiritual awakening, right? You're not meant to get this energy in another way because you need to understand how to deal with this stuff. And there's a process you're meant to go through, and anyone that's had a spiritual awakening would have went through this process. And you first have the awakening. You then have to go through a lot of healing within you. And then as you're healing more and more the neediness, you're ascending and accessing this life force energy. And this life force energy is considered to be sexual, but that's only in the lower understanding of it, because it's not actually like the needy sexual energy that people associate with sexual energy. That's in the lower realms, you could say. But when you're more healed, the neediness and ego is gone, and so you don't carry on like that, right? It's more absolute love, but no neediness involved, like loving someone without needing anything back in return. You're just absolute love. And this, when people try to access these energies without this, like I was on the internet today, and a lot of people have had bad experiences with taking part in yoga, with trying. I don't take part in anything. I just go within me, and they do you, and they're trying to get these kind of things too early. They're trying to just get them too early. They're trying to get something that they're not meant for yet. And I was just thinking about that last night and today actually. And I saw this video and didn't look for it. Obviously, I went to find it, and this guy was saying this is what a Kundalini awakening looks like, and it was a bunch of women in a yoga class. It looked like acting crazy, like they were having like an orgasm or something. Now, see, if you're dealing with this kind of energy, the reason you need to be ready is because you need to help other people evolve to this. How would anyone be helped if spiritual teachers were running around like they were having an orgasm? So that wouldn't help anyone. So these people are not enlightened. They're not awake. They don't understand the process that they're meant to take. And they've got people there teaching them something that it's absolute ignorance. Now obviously this stuff got out there by some means, somehow, but it's completely done in the wrong format. If you watch any spiritually awakened person on YouTube or anything, they all go through the same process of the healing, and then that leads to the deeper you go within, the deeper the life force energy. Because of the fact it's so sexual, when people are needy, that's why then people in that yoga class will go crazy. Some of them even experience pain, and that's not what ascension's about. Ascension is not about pain. It's about transcending your pain into healing light energy, so that you become, like I say, absolute love, so that there's not neediness anymore, so that you can deal with these sexual energies and transfer them. Now this takes a lot of work. You're talking about a lot of healing work involved in this. It's not something that someone can just go to a yoga class and all of a sudden all problems are gone. It needs to be a situation where your problems are healed. But these kind of people that do this don't have any regard for that. There's a lot of different kind of people that get involved in the spiritual community. A lot of them get involved, they want healed as well, but there's also a lot of neediness involved. They haven't had a spiritual awakening. Because you get two sides. You get the ones that have done the courses, you get the ones that have went to the yoga classes and all this different stuff, and you get those that have had unexpected spiritual awakenings. And obviously, I don't want to say that I know more than anyone, but if you've had an awakening, it's a different level to someone, a human teaching you. Come on. It's a different level to some low vibrational human teaching you something that he's read in a book or done a course on. You see, humans and lower vibrational people can't understand this stuff because it's not an understanding where you think, it's an understanding where you don't think. Right? It's an understanding of feelings within your heart space, and that's what you're doing in ascension. You're healing, going within your heart space, and that is, see, it's in the heart space that all the unhealed problems and traumas go, and that manifests our problems. And when we are interacting with sexual energy, for example, or anything to do with sexuality, we are very needy for it, because sex is how you heal those parts. And this is how they are so needy, and this is how someone will go crazy sexually with sexual energies, or something like Kundalini. When peaking energies within you are peaking, these people, some of them experience pain because this pain that they're feeling, the pain hasn't been released yet. That's why you're not meant to do this. Because if your unlocked pain within you has not been healed yet, it will cause you pain when interacting with this energy. What you're meant to do, the process you're meant to do, is you're meant to go with what you feel, go within you, listen to stillness, meditate upon stillness, and then you will get answers and insight on your inner pains and inner suffering. And that will ascend you deeper and deeper within until you access this life force energy. And because you're healed from this neediness, you will be able to transcend this sexual energy into higher vibrational divine light energy, into a state of absolute love euphoria. But when you're not healed like this, you will have a traumatic experience. It's a traumatic experience for someone to have an orgasmic feeling, but there's lots of pain involved. That is a traumatic experience for someone, and something that I don't know, might take lifetimes to get over. Right? It's, and people don't understand the process. But we've also got to understand that they haven't had a spiritual awakening, a lot of these teachers. If they did, they wouldn't do this. I watched on YouTube a few years ago this Buddhist guy, and he was saying that the people that do these yogas and the Kundalini thing and everything, he says they're ignorant. He said they're not meant to be doing that. They're ignorant of, like, divine law, you could say. And he spoke about this, and he said, and he spoke like I did, and he said that the path that these people are meant to take is an ascension path of lots of steps and healing. And then eventually when you get to the top of the stairs, you get it. Now, you're not meant to want from God. You're not meant to need from God. This is the dark forces now. When you start to need and want, this is your dark elements within you, and then you're feeding the dark forces. The dark forces is actually within us. And that's how we heal them, is by going within and doing it that way. And that will heal the neediness. And it feels so better when you don't need anything. When you don't need a woman or man or sexual things, you know what I mean? When you're like that, it hurts, and it's because of these inward hurts that we're like this. That's why we're like this. That's sexual desires, or desires in general, are unhealed parts manifested. And the ego knows that it's how it needs. It's how it heals, and it can heal you. Yes, sex is anything of a sexual nature can heal you. But something like Kundalini, when you've not healed all those elements yet, the peak in life force stuff, it's not going to be a good idea, because they're not. When you're dealing with that, all the unhealed parts will come out physically. That's why you need to heal them emotionally. But anyway, I'm just going to end it there. If you're watching, you're meant to watch it. I have a new album out just now, a new music album. It's called Ashtar Command. It's available on Apple. And that would be a great way to support me in what I'm doing here. It's the only way I can accept money, you see. I don't have any other way. But thanks for watching. Thank you.